Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the EUS Challenger Series number 5 finals. We are going into a best of 5 between Heimerdingers Colossi and Peculiar Gaming. I am Spuddington and I am joined by Dignitas Stress today.
Hello guys, looking forward to this series. Should be just getting underway. Looks like they are just heading into Champion Select now. Shen and Thresh are going to be the first bans out, so already getting a fast start on these picks bans.
Yeah, I should just mention that Stress, for the duration of Champion Select only, will be casting from the stream. He'll be a little bit behind as a result. I am in the lobby though, so I can see the bans as they come in. That being said, they are being fairly slow for these next couple of bans because we've only had one more ban from what had shown up on stream when Stress said. It's actually it's an Elise ban, although we have also now got that Jarvan the 4th.
So some, fairly standard bans out so far. I mean, at least we've seen a couple of people play this week. Shaka had a couple of good games on Elise for Animate, who unfortunately yesterday weren't quite able to get past past Heimerdingers Colossi to face Peculiar Gaming here. This is going to be a game between best of 5 series between Heimerdingers Colossi, who did in fact win last week, going up against Peculiar Gaming, who won back in week 2. So two former winners here fighting out for the Week 5 trophy.
Yeah, and they've both proven they're very, very strong teams. Tends to be that we see Heimerdingers Colossi going for a very aggressive setup, going for very, very aggressive laners and just generally snowballing early. And once they kind of get ahead, they never really let up. They just constantly take objectives all over the map and just pressure everywhere all the time till you see the end. Peculiar Gaming kind of a counterpoint to that. They play a much more defensive style. They tend to just kind of take advantages, sit back, wait for a really big late game team fight where they win, and then they obviously start to really push down the game. Obviously they'll take objectives if they can see the opportunity, but they're much less likely to go for super aggressive dives, other such things like that. But we have now got the full ban list out. Still no picks though. We've got Zac and Jace.
Yeah, so they want to take Jace away. We've seen Jace the past couple of weeks. I think Extinct might have played Jace a couple of times if I'm remembering correctly, but also up in that top lane would have been available for Yamato Cannon as well. Yamato Cannon actually on his own account this time, so we get to remember that fairly easily, not on one of his Smurf accounts. So I still haven't had the first pick out yet. Maluno is the one choosing. As I said, I am on the stream, so I'm a little bit behind you guys. Do we have that first pick yet, Spuddington?
Yeah, we do indeed have the lock-in on the Sona as the first pick. Now hovering over that Kha'Zix, now you're locking in the Varus. They have actually got potentially Kha'Zix. Are they going to lock this in? Yeah, there we go. So we've got Sona, Kha'Zix, and Varus.
Quite strange to me that we're not seeing a Twisted Fate out first. I know a couple of people are drifting away from playing Twisted Fate just because now people are finding out the ways of dealing with him, but he's still a very strong pick. And I just had to double check on the bans that he wasn't banned out. No, he is available, and it looks like Extinct might be looking to pick him up. I'm quite surprised that Heimerdingers Colossi would go for that Sona pickup first when there are potentially other picks available.
Well, I mean, Sona is a very strong all-around support. It may well be that Mithy just loves to play that Sona above all else. Not really sure, but obviously strong setup they've got right now. Looking at that Draven now, maybe as their AD carry pickup, did go for that Twisted Fate. So yeah, Sona Draven is an incredibly aggressive bot lane. So much damage coming out from, level 1, honestly. Where both of them kind of are top in their field in terms of just putting out that burst damage. We are obviously seeing now potentially Gruulem going for that Syndra, which has been a very comfortable pick for him. I've got to say though, I'm not sure I like that particularly go against Twisted Fate. Syndra kind of doesn't get shut down by him, but isn't able to really push him around in that lane either. Obviously once he hits level 6, Gruulem will have a decent chance of trying to go for that kill. But maybe they are going to go for it, have locked it in, and that aggressive Nautilus jungler will probably help to facilitate Gruulem in starting that early snowball against Extinct, if he possibly can. I'm interested, though, whether they'll actually be able to do that. I would expect the Twisted Fate to just play very, very passively, at least until level 6.
Well, I mean, we've only seen Gruulem play Syndra this week. If I'm not mistaken, 5 games out of 5 that Gruulem has been in, he has played Syndra. I believe he's won 4 of... Yeah, if he did play it in 5, he's won 4 out of the 5 games with Syndra. So very comfortable on the champion, but I think it might end up being a race to 6. If Syndra can beat Twisted Fate to 6, she'll use that unleashed power, probably try and take him out in lane and prevent him from getting 6 as long as possible. But as you said, it doesn't really, isn't really a particularly hard counter in the sense that you can't really appear up where Twisted Fate uses his destiny without taking teleport yourself. So a little bit of a mix of styles in that mid lane matchup.
Yeah, and we are now seeing the Nunu lock-in along with the Irelia lock-in. In that top lane, it's going to be Irelia versus Kha'Zix, it would seem. And that's a really good matchup for Irelia, I think. She is going to have no real worry about being bullied out early, which is generally quite a weakness for Irelia. And she's going to get to a point where Kha'Zix just will not be able to stay in lane with her, honestly. He will get that evolved spike, so he'll always have that kind of ability to farm fairly decently. Yeah, unlikely to be able to duel Irelia, honestly, at any point after, maybe level 5, maybe level 6. And though there is the potential always, because Kha'Zix is that kind of jumpy, slow CC, high burst champion that works well in gank situations. And obviously, again, Nautilus is a very aggressive jankler. He's a very aggressive jangler, and obviously that does allow for some serious setup for ganks, but again, Irelia, very, very tanky builds very often, and obviously has inbuilt tenacity. We are potentially now seeing the last pick, going to be Lulu, has been locked in.
Yeah, I like the Lulu pickup. Keep saying it. Lulu and Varus is a very strong lane. Has the shields to keep Varus safe. The only real downside to the lane is Varus' lack of escape, but with Flash, that's not too much of a problem, and they can just push the lane pretty much endlessly, depending on exactly where junglers are positioned. And very strong lane there. We've seen Varus Lulu in, I think, just about every game. I'd want to go out on a limb. We've seen the Draven try and counter it a little bit. Some people have had some success with that. If you can get the right engagement level 1 or 2, as you said, Sona Draven has a lot of damage in that early game. You can actually push Varus and Lulu off the lane for a little bit and get somewhat of an advantage. But then it's a game of keeping hold of the advantage and not letting it go. We do have Nunu in the jungle on Maluno. That's something that I haven't actually seen since the rework properly. Saw it in a couple of games that I was playing in yesterday, but not in a competitive sense by any stretch of the imagination. So that's going to be an interesting one for me to see Maluno on this Nunu.
Yeah, I think we actually saw him play it yesterday, and it worked out pretty well. They actually ran with a very aggressive pushing strat that game, though. Had that Caitlyn lock-in and kind of having the 3-man, jungler, support, and AD push on the lane, which was a 2v1, was very, very difficult to stop them taking the tower very, very quickly. And it worked out for them pretty well. But anyway, we are now in the delay period, so we will be moving into a quick commercial break while we wait for that to tick down. So we will see you all in just a minute with Game 1 of this best of 5.
Welcome back, guys, to the US Challenger Series number 5. Day number 4, that means it is Grand Finals day, and we are in game number 1 between Peculiar Gaming and Heimerdingers Colossi. Heimerdingers Colossi on the blue look to maybe invade the double golems at the beginning. There was a little bit of action that I hope we just about caught on stream. I am Dignitas Stress, joined here by Spuddington for this first game, and we do have all of the teams locked in. We're in game. And this should be one heck of a series.
Yeah, and we are, as you see, seeing some action. It was, I don't know if any summoner spells we used there. No, in fact, Matroka was able to just walk out. He did commit the point to Hail of Arrows, and it does in fact look like there has been this swap up. We're going to be seeing Varus and Lulu heading into the top lane. And in fact, Yamato Cannon is sort of, I'm not sure where he's going. We are actually going to be seeing, in fact, both of the bot lanes are going to be at top lane. So we are in turn really seeing Nautilus amazing and JWoww actually there on the Wraiths. They have been spotted out. Malunu is heading towards them. We have got the Cinder Ball coming in, the Rockets coming in, and it looks like they're just going to go back to farming now. Malunu going to be starting at red. Yamato Cannon looks like he's heading to bot lane.
Yeah, Extinct did get a lot of damage put onto him by Gorillum just from one of those balls appearing on the map. As you said, double bot lanes are going to go up to the top lane, so they're looking to push off that Varus and Lulu lane by just putting down as much damage as they can. But Mithy and Freeze have already taken a little damage to begin with, and I believe Matroko and Phylox will be a little bit ahead in experience, only by about a minion or two's worth. So they will hit level 2 first, provided they are farming at an equal rate. But look at the pressure applied from Draven and Sona. There's a lot of damage. Sona and Varus actually hit level 2 at the same time. So not really what Varus and Lulu would have liked. That is the aim here in this lane for Freeze and Mithy.
Yeah, at the moment, Freeze is just zoning them out with that double spinning axe. He can't. At the moment, Matroko just cannot go near. If he goes near, he gets 2 axes to the face. He just loses 2 huge chunks of health. And that means he's getting seriously zoned away from the creeps right now. He's on 6 to the 12 on Draven. He obviously will be building up a little bit of a creep stack, so that will equalize a little bit, but he is not farming as he would like right now. He's being forced to use Hail of Arrows, and it's just that extreme early damage coming out of Sona and Draven. It's super, super scary. Plus, Sona is keeping Freeze topped off. It's looking very, very difficult for him, but we do actually see Malunu heading into the jungle. He was spotted out, so we have got Phylox fighting over this ward here. Malunu now coming in through the Tri-Brush. Obviously, does not... yeah, are going to get that ward in the end, but not too much happening from it. Oh wait, actually blind! I'm completely blind. Mithy, sorry, Mithy is now in trouble. We have got Malunu getting really aggressive on them. We've got the stand aside coming in as well. Got Amazing took to run, but Extinct is there. He has got the first blood on Malunu there. Phylox having to run, but he's going to go down very, very quickly. Wicked Blades picks it up. We've got Matroko looking for, actually to try and stay alive. He has got the barrier, but it's not going to be enough. The stun goes down, the damage goes down, he's dead, and that is a 3-0 start, and I am just completely off it.
It's okay, I had one of those moments yesterday myself. I think we all get them where you just forget how to English. But that is a good start for Heimerdingers Colossi, and that'll be what they're looking for to begin this game. And Malunu picked up a first kill there. Nunu doesn't exactly have the greatest of damage early on, so that'll be an important pickup for him. I actually picked up 2 of those kills, so we'll be able to pick up the mobility boots and the spirit stone as well as a ward to get him right back into the game, farming up his jungle. And he'll be pretty happy about that. I think Heimerdingers Colossi, whenever we've seen them take this kind of lead, they tend to hold on to it for a long, long time and only end up kind of losing a game if it goes to around the 40-minute mark. So Peculiar Gaming have got their work cut out for them in this one.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for them to come back into this properly. But we do have Malunu coming in this mid lane. Grulum is out of mana. No hope really to get out of this. We have actually got the stun card locked in. She does have no flash available now. Going to be going down. Easy kill there. And it's at the moment, it's that classic snowball situation. You just have the extreme pressure coming out everywhere. Maluno is just constantly setting up ganks all over the map. And now we have Mithy actually taking a fair bit of damage in that top lane. Possibly going to be seeing some counterattacks now from Matroco. He can't trade these auto attacks. Stand aside misses. Freeze is not going to be going for some aggression there. But like I say, at the moment, this top bot lane is just doing really good work. Freeze is a long way ahead, and Matroco is going to be taking the pain. Mithy putting down even more. We have got the follow-up. Extinct stun card comes in. The roaming Twisted Fate before level 6 is just destroying everyone. Guaranteed stun is apparently still a very powerful thing, even at this stage.
Yeah, and as you said before, level 6, that's the second time that we've seen Extinct head up to that top lane. He's picked himself up now 3 kills, and the only thing worse really than a Twisted Fate that's able to hit level 6 and gank around as he just hits level 6 is a Twisted Fate that's going to teleport into lane with 3 kills. He's going to be so far ahead right now, and as soon as he starts roaming, he's just gonna. He's already started roaming. As soon as he starts roaming with his ultimate, he's gonna make even more impact on this game.
Yeah, it's not looking good at all for Peculiar right now. We're going to be seeing Twisted Fate going back now, so obviously when he comes back into lane, I wouldn't be surprised to see him actually look to go to another lane. He could go anywhere, honestly. Top, bot, anyway. He's actually picked up Merc Treads though, which is an interesting choice. Obviously a little bit scared of that Syndra Burst, but it looks like he intends to teleport down to bottom lane. So, got to be a little bit careful right now. We have got the ping going down. Twisted Fate ultimate should be coming into range very shortly. Yamato Cannon takes a bit of damage. He's going to knock down that creep, back off, look to go for the Blade Surge combo. We got the ultimate coming in. Matroco now in trouble. Yamato Cannon actually whiffs Equilibrium Strike. Matroco is just going to go down very easily. Auto attack there picks him up. And now Phylox is level 3. Phylox is running for his life. Phylox can't do anything. Phylox is dead.
Yeah, and Extinct coming back wasn't here last week for the finals. Did have a prior meeting from what we were told, so he wasn't available to play last week in the finals. But he's showing this time that he doesn't want this one to head to game number 5. In the lobby before, Extinct was saying last week's finals only went to game number 5 because he wasn't here. So already stamping his impression on the game. 4-0-3 by 7.5 minutes is a very impressive score on Twisted Fate. And he's going to go back and buy again. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to pick up. Only has about 500 gold on him, so can't really afford all that much. It will be a Cage's lucky pick, so I'm assuming that is going to go towards, I believe, Twin Shadows on that one.
Yeah, so Twin Shadows on Twisted Fate is somewhat of a defensive item. We actually have the ultimate going down from Freeze at top lane, with JWoww going quite low, but he's not going to be taken out completely. Looks like Freeze is just looking for an opportunity to go back here. Going to keep juggling these axes, and JWoww actually now in trouble. We got the flash from Mithy. Picks it up on the auto attack from Freeze. The exhaust was used, but they're going to be perfectly happy with that result. Going to be taking that top tower. They are now 8-0, and this is just really looking bad from Peculiar Gaming's perspective.
Yeah, 8-0 in just as many minutes. You saw Matroco and Phylox get swapped down to the bottom lane because they were having a little bit of trouble up in that top lane against the Draven and the Sona combination, which is exactly what Heimerdingers Colossi wanted to do. They wanted to stop all of the pressure that Varus and Lulu can give. But they were camped pretty hard up in that top lane. They had those 2 roams out of Twisted Fate with Maluno up there earlier. They swapped down to the bottom lane, and Extinct has his ultimate. They put the pressure back onto Varus and Lulu, and they just haven't been able to get a comfortable footing in this game at all. So good work by Heimerdingers Colossi to shut down the pushing attempts from the bot lane partnership from Peculiar Gaming.
Yeah, and you could tell it was Peculiar Game that initiated that lane swap. They wanted to avoid that situation. Yamato Cannon in bottom lane has actually been squirreled. Not going to be able to land the Equilibrium Strike immediately. He's now going in with the ultimate. Mithy is coming in from the side as well. Matroco might not go down to this though. They had to crescendo though, so that should be enough to pick it up. Does do it. Exhaust actually goes down a little bit late there from Phylox. If he'd done that earlier, he might have been able to keep Matroco alive, but not going to be important. He is obviously now just going to be going back to farming. Yeah, and this is just looking incredibly scary. Every single lane is snowballing, and snowballing hard.
Yeah, and now it's Freeze and Mithy back down in that bottom lane. They're either going to have to swap up Varus and Lulu back up into the top lane, or bring them down for some more punishment in this bottom lane, which is what they're doing. Looks like Peculiar are just trying to grit their teeth and bear it and go through it, because they don't want to give up that dragon control by having 2 members up in the top lane. Extinct has gone up to the top to put a little bit of pressure onto JWoww. And we'll see exactly what he can get done there. And there was an attempt at Dragon by Nunu and Sona, but the wards came out from Peculiar. Destiny's actually gone down, teleporting into the mid lane. Grillum gets the gold card, locked onto him. Yamato Cannon, is he able to finish it off? Grillum not quite gonna die to the Ignite, but Freeze will actually take down Matroco in the bottom lane at the same time.
Yeah, and that's just the danger with Twisted Fate. You always got to keep absolutely crystal clear, like, memory of when he's going to have his ultimate, and where he could ult at any given time, because you saw him in that top lane, he knew he had Destiny, and they saw him heading down, but Grillum did not back off from that mid lane. He did not, it didn't actually translate to a kill in that case, but it could have done it very, very easily, and he just did not back off from it. So obviously that's going to be a very, very difficult thing for them. And I have to wonder now, are they just going to be starting to think about the next game? Because honestly, right now, Peculiar Gaming are just so far behind. And Phylog's playing with fire there. Freeze is looking very, very scary. He could just dive him, but he may just look to bait that. Whimsy is available. So it's not going to happen though. Tower goes down. But yeah, as I was saying, are they going to maybe look for a different banning strategy? Because we've seen Freeze's Draven before, and we've seen him carry games with it before. We've also seen Twisted Fate get snowballing out of control before. Do you feel like maybe they were remiss not to ban those characters out this game?
Yeah, I'm completely bewildered, not only by the fact that Twisted Fate wasn't banned against Extinct, but it was also let through to the second round of picks for Heimerdingers Colossi. That I know obviously they felt like they wanted to pick up the Kazakhs, and I think it was Varus they picked up alongside that, which, is a strong set of champions to pick, but Twisted Fate just has a wider impact on the game, and they've let Extinct have it, and he's running wild with it. I mean, Mithy even feels confident to buy an Oracles at the 12-minute mark. That is balls right there, to be honest. I mean, it's such a huge gold investment, but Mithy doesn't even feel pressured right now. 006 with a Sightstone. Doesn't even feel like they need a Philosopher's Stone either. So, that's just confidence all around from Heimerdingers Colossi.
Yeah, he's going to be relying on getting assists for that gold, and at the moment, 6 assists, no deaths. He's going to be perfectly happy with that setup. It's just looking scary, though. As you say, that Oracles is going to snowball Heimerdingers Colossi even harder, because now they can't even keep vision control. They can't keep their stuff warded, because they aren't strong enough to fight directly, even in kind of advantageous situations. I mean, Freeze can probably 2v1 right now. They can't afford any mistakes at this point. If they get caught, they're going to die. If they get caught and die, they're going to lose objectives. If they snowball any further behind, it's going to get to a point where Heimerdingers Colossi just will never let go and cannot lose. At this point, it's still just about plausible, but they're going to have to play a very, very strong stall game. And actually, amazing going for the hook, does not land it on Malunu. Shield's going to keep him on full health. Varus trying desperately to farm against Freeze, but he knows that if it stand aside lands, he's dead. With a double spinning axe, stand aside ultimate is probably enough damage to just take him down from a full, and now Extinct is in this bottom lane. He's actually got Destiny. He might go for the shortest teleport known to man. He actually is available, but it looks like he's just going to go for the pressure on the tower instead. Yeah,
in some senses, they're a little bit lucky that Extinct didn't quite manage to pick up the Lichbane when he backed, because he's not quite as strong as pushing towers as he is, but still 4-0 and 3 with a Sheen blasting one and cages like he picked still makes him very deadly. You can see Matraco forced to use the barrier, but it wasn't enough. Freeze picked it up. Mithy's actually going to come through the side with the crescendo. Amazing trying to get away, and Freeze is trying to chase him on, but Grillum has actually gone down as well.
Yeah, just incredible aggression, and actually Freeze now going under the tower onto amazing barrier pop. Spinning axe picks up the kill. Freeze is now in a bit of an awkward spot, and Kha'Zix jumps on him, getting the 500 goals shut down. Is it too little, too late? I think it probably is. We are going to be still seeing some ballsy plays there, as I mentioned. Yeah, as you mentioned, Mithy flashing over the wall, flashing over that big wall. Actually, I'm surprised he didn't fail flash, and then landing the crescendo on 2 while tanking the tower out. It was just flawlessly aggressive play, and that's what we come to expect from Heimerdingers Colossi. That's just how they work, and it was a really, really solid performance for them.
Yeah, aggression is pretty much the name of the game in every game we've seen with Heimerdingers Colossi. That Lichbane has been finished now as well, so Twisted Fate is going to be a tower pushing machine. I mean, you lock the red cards, you do the extra damage to the turret, then the Lich Bane procs on top of that as well, and you can just shred through towers so very quickly. JWoww did use the Void Spikes on that blue. Will know it's there, but Maluno's actually going to chase him out here. Looks like Extinct is chasing on as well. Destiny's still a third of the cooldown remaining on it, so won't be able to catch on to the end of that. But Freeze trying to push out in the mid lane, has been caught by a stun, but Grillem's been suppressed so much in this game that there's really not all that much damage coming out from her right yet. I mean, it would require a full combo, really, for her to do even considerable amount of damage there to Freeze. So they've shut down Grillem's Syndra, who, as we said, is a very comfortable champion for him, very well since the beginning of this game.
Yeah, and I'm hoping my voice is not currently roboting for you. I'm not 100% certain. Maybe might have been having some slight technical issues. We are seeing Yamato Cannon potentially not going to be caught out. Actually, JWoww just going to be very careful here. If Yamato Cannon gets on him and he doesn't have that jump available, he's pretty much guaranteed to go down. And if Blade Surge is available when he gets onto him, so for instance, if he jumps to a low health minion and then Equilibrium strikes, I think he'll be able to stick, and that is a very scary prospect. We actually see Spirit of the Elder Lizard on Irelia, which is an interesting pickup, actually. I think I quite like that in principle. I mean, she does have the means to proc it on a lot of people. She has the means to proc it quite often. She has also quite a lot of use for cooldown reduction. So yeah, solid item on her, much as it seems to be on just about every physical damage caster. But we are going to be seeing some continued aggression here. We are, moving into the 17th minute now, and we still have I'm surprised actually at the lack of a tower advantage here.
Yeah, it is a little bit surprising, and this is going to sound like a really hollow consolation for Peculiar, but we're at 17 minutes, it's 14 kills. They've slowed down a little bit from that 1 kill a minute rate that Heimerdingers Colossi were going for. They will pick up the dragon though, so they will keep their gold ticking up. They have a 9,000 gold advantage right now, which is a lot of a gold advantage at the 17-minute mark. And really, as soon as they start to establish more wards, you can see Sona is going out, dewarding even the opponent's jungle at the 17-minute mark on her own. That's very confident right there out of Miffy. As soon as they can establish these deep wards into the opponent's jungle, they're going to be able to take control of even more towers and even more of the map.
Yeah, and actually now Matroko is going to be forced off this bottom tower. That's going to go down. Maluno actually in the middle there did use Absolute Zero. Now we have the full combo going on Extinct, but it isn't enough damage. Amazing trying to chase this up. He's going to be going for Mithy, but he just does not have the damage to go for it. Does decide to back off instead. Freeze still split pushing this bottom. Aurelia still quite happy to farm out that top lane. It's just such a bad situation now. 11k gold difference at 18 minutes is absolutely enormous. That's the kind of goal difference that would be big at 40 minutes. At this stage of the game, it's just absolutely game changing, and there is no reasonable way that anyone on their team can find any of their opposite members. And even in 2v1s now, it's very, very iffy. And just look at Matroko. I mean, that is just classic there. Draven has snowballed so hard. He is 0-5 for Varus, and 94 CS to 161 CS, 5 kills on Draven. Full Bloodthirster, full Last Whisper versus no major items. Actually, at top, JWoww is stunned and going down very, very cleanly indeed. Just such a domination game at the moment.
Yeah, and we saw in the first game of last week's finals that Absolute Legends did come back against Heimerdingers Colossi, but it was not this astronomical gold difference in this game. Peculiar Gaming, I think they can try and grind this out if they really, really want to. They're going to Destiny on towards Grillem. Gold card will lock. Extinct goes to Godlike, and they're going to push another tower. They could try and grind this out, but from what we see in chat, JWoww throwing out the sad smiley face there in chat that we can see, I have a feeling that in about 30 seconds we may end up seeing the victory screen for Heimerdingers Colossi. It's going to be a demoralizing result here for Peculiar Gaming, and I know I don't like to say that teams maybe can't come back, but this is a crazy gold advantage. I mean, you can see Heimerdingers Colossi pulling back. I don't even think they need to. If they wanted to fight, they could probably fight this in the base of Peculiar Gaming.
Yeah, this is thus far looking like an absolutely crushing defeat. And at this point, you know, you'd have to probably have spawn fountain dives and then like a Baron failure and then like, you know, another bad team fight or something like that. That would be the level of messing up. And there we go. Surrender vote comes in. Not at all surprising. Dominating game from Heimerdingers Kaostv. They take game one. Just, you could see that they were so far ahead from minute one, to be honest. But obviously, this is a best of five. That's only the first game. There is still the potential for Peculiar Gaming to come back into this. And I know we are going to be going into a quick analysis break. I know Broken Shard will be speaking his spiel, although I have to say, if we move him into the channel now, that might be a good idea.
I do want to remind the people that watching the stream, though, that Peculiar Gaming are a very strong team. They won week 2. That is a little bit of an uncharacteristic loss for them. I know it sounded very harsh from myself and Spuddington in that game. Some games, unfortunately, just are like that. You get caught out, the snowball starts building and building, and you just can't really end up dealing with it. It's better to just get out of the game, get your mentality sorted again, and hopefully we'll see the same Peculiar Gaming that we've seen earlier this week and in earlier competitions as well, because Peculiar Gaming don't look that weak ever.